Hey, this is Rick, and welcome to Spit Take, not Stip Pake. Uh,
Jesus, starting out strong. Can we
Fucking.
redo
I'm
that?
here with Adam and Sarah. Hi, guys.
What?
That's Steph. Wow.
Wow. You don't even know who your co-host is.
Huh?
You called
Or
Steph
Adam and Steph.
Sarah.
I'm sorry. All right, wait. Start again. Sorry,
I'll cut that.
I'm not even paying attention. Hey, this is Rick, and welcome to Spit Take. I am here with Adam
Hello.
and Stefan.
What's up, nerds?
And today we are gonna probably just go over some of the crime documentaries that have been coming out recently, and a couple episodes of Daredevil came out, and also I
We had the
think we also
Oscars.
talked about "Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead" because
Yep.
I met Danielle Harris the other day and took my shot. It went pretty well. Uh,
Pretty
but
much
yeah,
engaged.
you guys go ahead and start talking. You know.
All right, well, do we want to start with the Oscars?
Well, let's start with the. You said you watched Gabby Petito. We talked about it
Mm.
last week, but like now that you're caught up on it, we can revisit that conversation. I think that's a good place to start.
Yeah, yeah. It was a very disturbing um I guess documentary. That's what it is, right? It would be a
Yeah.
documentary. Docuseries, whatever. I mean, I did not know that he ended up killing himself. I thought they would have just found him in jail. I find it interesting that the parents are still kind of like MIA and nothing has come about that. But watching the whole thing, the opening scene are the cops that stop them and she's clearly distraught and they just kind of let her go. I was like, I think we talked about this last time too, but I wonder how bad they feel knowing that, after this, she
And
died.
yeah, well, and it like we said last time, it kind of like takes. I'm sure it takes a toll. Like if you find out you stop somebody and like, but you had no reason to believe that somebody was going to get murdered that day, but then you find out, yeah, he did end up killing her. You know, there's not. It's survivor's guilt is a little bit of it. You're just kind of sitting there trying to figure out why you let them go. But I like that they showed that and let the cops kind of like talk through their process because it shows like they didn't do anything wrong. They did exactly what they were supposed to do, but there's no way to know how adversely somebody's going to react to situations. So
Right, right. And I don't blame them where I'm sure a lot of people do. They were doing what they were supposed to do and, kind of kind of in a rough spot with that.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, watching like their progression and their friends talking about them and it's like reading the text, like it's the writing was on the wall.
yeah,
Um, it sucks and I feel for her family and, all of her friends, but it's like, God damn, she should just not have gone. Like that man was so controlling and that family, like when I think she's talking to her mom or something about how his mom did not like her.
yeah.
I go, oh, that's not something they should be messing with.
I think there's a certain element too, though. Like a lot of people, when they're in controlling relationships, don't really realize it until it really gets to a boiling point. And it's the same thing. Like you wonder why people keep going. Like why a woman goes back to the same man that keeps like treating her like shit. You know, and Rick probably
Well,
has more insight than the rest of us on this.
Hmm.
really, it's like, and guys do the same thing with women. I don't think people realize that. People think it's just women that do this. No, guys do that, and it's just that women more use uh, mind emotional manipulation tactics than guys do a
Hmm.
lot of times, and and women are very cutthroat. Um, but what a woman will do is hit the guy and get him so angry that he has to defend himself, then call the cops after videotaping him, and then make him look like the bad guy.
Those
But
videos, when I see that, that irritates the hell out of me. When I see like some girl like slapping a dude and he's just standing there, knowing full well like I can do nothing.
well,
Yeah.
the guy will even blame himself too.
Yeah,
That's the thing, because it will be like a gentlest guy that really wouldn't hit a woman, but she'll literally uh have him cornered like a rat, screaming, demeaning him, blah blah blah, get the central nervous system going until it's at a point where he's screaming, and then bam, you
yeah,
know. Uh, and that's what a narcissist do, is get you to react, then use your reaction against you.
hmm,
That's the big thing about, when you're talking about your antisocials and your narcissistic relationships, is you get so manipulated that you hold down your uh, that trauma reaction. You're trying to hold down the trauma reaction because you're in a fight or flight reaction, and then then you just start disassociating because you're trying to push everything back, and so you just lose complete disconnection with your body. um, but with this, and what you generally see, especially with women, is there's good times. It's not all just bad times.
right.
There's good times too, but usually the good times are love bombing. So,
Mhm.
so basically, when the narcissist or the antisocial kind of sees that they're losing uh, control of their person, of their prey, they'll start love bombing them and start treating them like they're the best person in the world, and give them unmitigated attention and gifts and blah blah blah. You even see this from parents to kids.
Yep.
And then once they got you back, they'll start demeaning you again, or they'll start abusing you again. And so while this is happening, the person is thinking, but there's good times too. He's not always like this, and because they generally love him. And then you got the idea of, oh, you're making me do this. So they manipulate your emotions to make you think, oh, it's my fault they're angry. It's my fault they're acting this way. So they start blaming themselves, which on the outside doesn't, it's like, well, that's crazy. But on the inside, when you're actually having your emotions manipulated and you're not really thinking straight and your nervous system's going off, you start gaining these beliefs, these subconscious beliefs, that I am bad, there's something wrong with me, I'm the abuser, I must be the narcissist. I get clients all the time come in, especially guys, that say, my wife says I'm a narcissist. Come to find out, the wife's a narcissist.
Hmm. Little projection in there, I'm sure.
I mean, I've definitely been in situations, not as extreme, but relationships that have been very similar to that. And watching it was kind of triggering in a way because I recognize a lot of the things and I understood where she was coming from and why she didn't leave. And it's easy to say, like you said, on the outside, to be like, "Oh, what are you doing? Why don't you leave?" But when you're in it, you don't realize what's going on and how bad it is because you do see the other side and you really do care about the person and you think, "Oh, well, it'll be fine. It'll be fine tomorrow. This outweighs the bad." But really, yeah, it's a very manipulative.
I think you'd be hard pressed to find someone who has, especially our age, who has not been in some kind of toxic or troubling relationship. I mean, I know I've been in them where I've been, people have used emotions against me to try to control me and stuff. So, I mean, I think everybody has ended up in a situation like that and has a story to tell,
Yeah.
you know?
And the worst is, and someone's manipulating when they're using their emotions against you. So
Hmm.
someone who's sad will just be sad, but then when they're all of a sudden sad or all of a sudden angry, and they're trying to get you to say or do something by being angry or sad, and that's what they do. They find nice, sweet people. A lot of times, it's people that have grown up in narcissistic families,
Hmm.
and they use their vulnerabilities against them, or they use that nice person against them. And then that person's like, "Well, I can't abandon them."
Yeah. Well, yeah, and the Gabby Petito one. I mean, just kind of talking about this, I think we can jump right into the new documentary out on Hulu right now, which is the Ruby Franke one. Um, I forget what the actual it's a different title, I think. Maybe it's just the Ruby Frankie story. I can't remember. Came out last week, and I watched.
There's been a couple of them out.
Yeah,
Since I put me on.
this is the brand new one. And it's 3 episodes. I watched it all in one night. It was really good. And I didn't know much about the Ruby Frankie stuff. The first time I had heard about her was when we were recording on here a few months ago. Rick, you told me about her. We were talking about Nurse Hannah. And I looked into it and I understood, but I didn't grasp everything that had happened. And watching the documentary really opened my eyes to it. And the first thing I'm thinking is, I'm like, how does this fucking happen? And then you're like, oh yeah, they're Mormon, who are just
And
messed up in
that's not
themselves.
abnormal if you look at all these. Not, I mean, I'm not saying every Mormon woman,
Right.
uh, but it seems to be a big thing in like Salt Lake City.
Yes.
The Mormon women
Mm-hmm.
seem to be these off the wall video vlogger crazy
Fanatics.
people in Salt Lake City.
So when they explain it really well in the documentary that as a Mormon woman, she wanted to be viewed as as like a good mom, like as a good mother and everything. And part of the Mormon religion is to spread the word of God, so they use the video blogs with their families in order to spread that message and to say that, hey, I did something good. Plus, people look and say, she was getting the praise from YouTube of people being like, I love your family. It's so great to see them growing up, and people are like following her and watching like all the different things the kids are doing. And then later, when they talk about how everything changed, where she's doing a video with her 15-year-old son, and he tells the world that he slept on a beanbag chair for 7 months. He got banned from his room as punishment, basically. And people were like, well, hold on, that's not right. And yes, that is extremely excessive. And I mean, as extreme forms of punishment, I expect nothing less from the Mormon religion for the most part. From all the stuff I've watched, a lot of documentaries about different Mormons, mostly ones who have been in scandals, and they all seem to kind of come out with the same thing of this controlling behavior. But she was on a whole nother level. I mean, the fact they start out this documentary with her 12-year-old son having escaped a torture dungeon in a house next door, and like coming to this house and like begging for help, like food, water, and the police and everything. Duct tape on his hands and wrists, and just gashes in his body because they were trying to exorcise a demon out of him. Like, it's just really, really
What?
fucked up stuff. Oh yeah, it's really fucked up. But
Yeah,
like,
and the, here's the thing about religion. There's more narcissists in religion than anywhere else because first of all, I'm not bashing religion. We ain't gonna talk about my true feelings about that. Not today. Um, but you got to think narcissists are gonna go for people who are sensitive. Where are people sensitive in? Spirituality, animals, plants, gardens, stuff like that. So they take advantage of people who are high in spirituality, high in giving. But also, there's a class system in the church, in every church, right? And everybody's trying. And I've had clients. I've been in the church. Everybody's trying to look good in front of the church, and that's generally what a narcissist is trying to do. They want to look good in front of everybody. What does she do? What does she do through this? She wants to look good in front of everybody, right? She wants to look. She wants everybody to praise her. She wants everybody to think she's a good mom. And she's putting her whole family out there in front of the world so she can get that praise, using her children as cannon fodder to make herself looks very, very,
right?
uh, 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 you know, good.
Yeah,
That's good articulation.
right. So, and the family vlogging thing, like I'm not somebody who even really shares his family like on social media. Like once in a while, I have a cute picture of my daughter or something, and I'll put up there. But like, I'm not. I find it hard to believe that people want to put their entire lives out there for other people to see. It like I find it hard to believe, but I get it for some people. Like it's all they got. But this is taking this one and the Gabby Petito case, both incidents of social media gone wrong, basically, right? You know, Gabby Petito was trying to be a famous, not a, yeah, vlogger. She was a
Yeah,
vlogger.
she was a
She was trying
vlogger.
to be a famous vlogger, and some of the struggles they had was the fact that it wasn't taking off. That was some of the arguments that they had. But then you come to this one, you got the family vlogging, and the one daughter, the eldest daughter from Ruby Franke, she's like an advocate against
Yeah,
family vlogging,
she's completely against it.
and I full well support um, against that, because first of all, your kids don't really have a say. They're not really giving any type of consent. And I know they don't always have to give consent for everything. You know, I still believe that they should listen to their parents, but something like that where they're being put on in the public, I don't think it should even be allowed.
It's not. I'm not too worried about doing family vlogging and blah blah blah. I think it's more that she's using them for her own gain,
But I
right?
feel like any family vlogging would be using the kids for gain and
Not
popularity,
like that. I
right?
think that's a different thing. I think not. I think this is a different. If we're just having fun and making videos as a
Yeah.
family, that's different. If I'm using my kids for me to make get attention,
Hmm.
that's a different story, right? Like
Yeah,
I
but
put pictures of me and my daughter
yeah,
going and getting pictures with celebrities and stuff like that online,
sure.
but I'm not doing it so I can be like, look at how great I am. Look at my daughter taking pictures. Look at me. Look at me. Like I don't.
You're sharing the fun stuff that you guys are doing together.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get it.
that's what. And now I'm not saying I can't really. I don't. I think that's the biggest thing. Though. We don't really know what's going on behind closed doors
Yeah.
with these families. You know.
And we learned a little bit with Ruby Frankie, though, because they were showing, because they found all that footage, right? They got all that footage released to them from the family of like the behind the scenes where
Well, we
she
know
was
what was
like,
going on with her family, but
right,
like
with hers, sure.
other people, like
But I mean,
my daughter wants to be a YouTube star. If I started, I purposely did not do that to not like feed it too much, and you know what she's gonna end up doing anyway. She wants to be a
yeah,
voice actor, and I'm gonna let her do a acting camp in the summer and
yeah,
stuff like that. Like she's gonna be making YouTube videos, and
sure,
that's not the thing. Uh, I didn't want to like actively did not want to like make it about me. So I
sure.
wasn't, and didn't feel right about making videos of my daughter. I think I made a couple, and I think I was like, I don't feel, and this was at her request, and I was like, I don't feel right, so we just stopped. And I do let her make videos, but not show her face.
Yeah.
You
Well, and
know,
again, you got the case of Nurse Hannah too. Like we were watching those videos. That one episode we did where you found out you could screen share shit when
hmm
you were showing the videos. But yeah, she
yeah. No one laughed at my wolf video I sent you.
no. I saw it. I did laugh. I chuckled. I just didn't LOL it. Okay.
Well,
Um,
I'm not gonna know if it's funny if you don't put a thumbs up. Well, actually, a thumbs up's kind of a slight. That's worse than not saying anything at all.
it's like, hey,
You gotta
great video,
be like,
guy.
ah.
I'm gonna send a video next time of me laughing. Just yeah,
Thank you. I'd
yeah,
appreciate that.
sure. But again, going back to it, like this is like the same thing with the Nurse Hannah thing. Like she's doing like video vlogging, and I mean, she's a fucking another case, another nutcase. And I, I don't know. Like
She
I,
was like, you can tell, and we're never gonna find out about this because she went on blast. She was setting up her kid, is what it appeared, to be put in danger for videos. So she literally
mm,
put out like a hot pan, put it right there, and then turned back around. Her kid's touching a hot pan, and she's just going, ugh. Like she's not even like, "Are you okay?" Like if my kid touched a hot pan, I'd be like, "Are you okay?" Oh my god! No, she's just like, "Ugh, he's such an idiot." Like he's a 2-year-old kid.
well, yeah, and here's what was funny was we were watching the Ruby Frankie documentary. Like we're watching it, and she's like, at one point, she's kind of like yelling at the kids, and me and my wife are sitting there like, oh, we yell at our daughter or something, and like we're like, oh, are we as bad? And then you watch the rest of the documentary, like, we're great parents. Now
I
we're
don't
fucking
generally yell at
rocking
my
it.
daughter. I don't. I do when she backtalks her mom, and I tell her to think about that and go, apologize to her mom and blah blah blah. Remind her of all the good things her mom does. But I don't really believe in yelling at your kids personally.
Yeah,
Uh, but
I let her have it sometimes, and I feel terrible afterwards. But like some of it's just
I'm gonna give you a suggestion. Stop doing it. No, seriously.
we've gotten much better about it. I think we used to do it a lot more, but like
I
we're
mean, no, I don't want to make it sound like I'm telling you not to parent how to
yeah.
parent. Um, there's better ways. I don't know if that's any better. Now I sound like an asshole to you. Uh, I feel I did that when she was younger, and I feel like that ruined our relationship as she got older, and now I don't really do it. And
Yeah.
so, but I think we were yelled at as kids,
Well, we were for sure.
and it was a different story. But I think we know more about that stuff now.
Yeah. My point is like hey, I yell at my kids once in a while, and I'm like, oh, does that make me bad? No, because you know what? I don't tie my children up and try to exorcise demons out of them in a basement. And I'm like, you know what? I'm rocking this parent thing. I think I'm doing okay, doing all
Well,
right.
my daughter says she's gay, and I'm trying to exercise the gay out of. No, I'm just joking.
Pray the gay away.
No, I literally have like a gay flag on my vest with all my other stuff, and I tried to put. Well, she says she's pansexual, but she goes with gay. I tried to put a pansexual flag on my car, but it washed off uh, in the car wash. But I did buy her libertarian rainbow stickers.
Hey, you gotta support her.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely support your kids always and forever, unless they
Yeah.
be
She
unless they
distracted
become
there. You
liberal.
okay there?
Unless they become
Um,
liberal.
I would like to mention the Charles uh, Manson doc, and I'm not going to say too much about it because I think you should watch it. And I don't think there's like too much new information that hasn't been said over and over and over again. But um,
Which one is it?
it's brand new. It just came out today.
What's
Oh,
it
it did.
on?
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh, it literally just came out, and I just watched it before this. Watched this.
I'm
Watched it. Took a nap. But it
I'm looking it
definitely
up.
talked about the CIA, and it definitely talked about MK Ultra. Um, and so there's a lot of interesting stuff in that. Which there was a podcast with Joe Rogan that pretty much explained that Charles Manson was MK Ultra,
Yeah.
and LSD is involved in that, and that's probably how he had a lot of followers and was made a lot of people susceptible to him.
Wait, what
He
is MK Ultra?
MK Ultra was mind control experiments done by the CIA back in the '60s,
Hmm.
probably still now. So
This
MK Ultra is pretty much on your phone now.
yeah.
Mm.
It's
So
literally your phone. The screen is set up to control you. Like we're being mind controlled every day. When you're watching TV, we're being
Hmm.
mind controlled by our TV.
so I don't know about the phone stuff, but the MK Ultra project is well known. This isn't even a conspiracy theory. They released the documents like it's a known project that actually happened where they were using LSD and performing experiments on mind control.
Gotcha.
So it's
Gotcha.
a real
But
thing.
dang, I don't know if like those women were under mind control or what, but they did just about anything he said, and they were all sleeping on concrete floors and houses that that were old movie sets that had like holes in the roof and stuff like that.
When they got arrested after killing what's her name Sharon Tate, when
Pancake, yeah.
when those girls got arrested, and they would not dime out Manson on anything. They wouldn't say a thing. They said we did this all on our own, like to save their own lives and keep themselves out of jail. They wouldn't cut a deal to turn on that guy, which is a level of control that you just don't see. Even in some of like the wildest cults, you don't see that level of control.
I
I
think
think that what it boils down to, this might not be a popular theory, but that Charles Manson probably had a huge dick, and that's what controlled them.
no, because it was all the guys in the cult that were banging the girls, unless they all had
Yeah.
huge dicks.
I mean, I don't
They
know.
were kind of
They
like
were
a free
the
love type
dude with
place.
one of the dudes is like, I can't imagine how many diseases those women had.
Yeah.
There
Ooh.
were diseases all over that because basically like there'd be a woman on the diving board saying feed me, fuck me, and something else, and like they pretty much said, oh, you could have sex with us anytime, and
Wow.
so it was just these guys, and there was like 17 women, and they were just banging them.
Jeez. Um, this reminds me to touch on another subject when you're done.
But well, you
The
made me
eye
forget
roll.
what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something very interesting. Oh, uh, Charles Manson also mentioned. I wonder how much he really knows. I think there must be something more there.
Yeah.
Uh, but World War II still going on.
What?
What?
Well, World War II never ended.
Um. Okay.
Oh,
Pretty sure it did.
I mean, okay. I guess a form of it, because there is a lot of
And it was a
uh
very anti-Semitic statement. Let's say that.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's a very interesting one. There's a
Hmm.
lot of interesting conspiracy behind it
Yeah.
mm,
Well,
that
there
I am not saying that is or isn't true.
a lot of the serial killers have all kinds of conspiracies behind them, right? Son of Sam, it's basically all come out now that he did not act alone and that he was part of a cult that worked together to kill these people. Like it's come out. I watched one documentaries, Sons of Sam, that was really good about that, and it talks all about the cult, right? So in it, they're like he did not act alone. It's basically been proven to this at this point, but the city needed somebody to blame, so they took this one guy and blamed him for all the murders. Like there's a lot of different conspiracies that happen behind these. Um,
oh,
God, there was another one. I'm trying to
Well,
think.
let's just say they mentioned Jack Ruby in in this documentary too.
Who's Jack Ruby?
Uh,
I don't know that one.
JFK.
Oh, gotcha.
Uh, and you know there's a lot of conspiracy behind that.
Yeah,
Um, so like I do wonder how much is behind these serial killers and killers that become famous
yeah,
that we don't know about.
absolutely.
totally.
Absolutely, and I hope with this new, government transparency thing, we're gonna see some of those case files and stuff from the FBI.
Didn't you see that they found the what was it called, a black spot CIA building or whatever, when they were finding buildings that were like being
Oh,
sold, federal buildings that are being sold. It
yeah, the
was the
black site.
CIA building domestically.
Yeah,
Which, why is CIA domestic? It
yeah,
should be international. We have the FBI for domestic.
yeah. I know. I've been watching a lot of that stuff. It's all fascinating to me. It's all fascinating, um, but yeah. So I'm interested though once those files come out. And granted, like they're like, oh, full. Here's what I think. To be honest, they're saying full transparency. We're going to release all the files. You can look through everything. Uh, but I think they're also only going to release what they want us to see at the same time.
Well,
They're
yeah, they
going
got
to
to have
release
some
the
sort of
files.
control.
We'll never see the full Epstein list. We never will.
Well, they were destroying it before. Like, they've been destroying it for months now.
Right. Well, and all the injunctions that
That's
have been
been
put on,
reported.
it's to delay. It's to delay so that they can get rid of the evidence that they need to.
But don't kill me, MAGA. But I think Trump's on the list anyways, so I think it's part of it.
Yeah, I have no doubt he is. There's been pictures of him with Epstein.
Yeah, but that was like 2000. I think there's a
Yeah.
lot of stuff with that, but like,
I
Uh,
watched.
I j- like George Carlin says, a big old club. You're not part of it. Like people want to stick up for Trump and blah blah blah, but it's like, dude, he was in with all those people a long time ago. Now all of a sudden he's turning against them, and now he's literally Hitler. Like there's something more to that because he was best friends with all these guys that hate him now.
Yeah. Well, and I was watching a clip of Joe Rogan talking about Epstein and everything, and talking about there are some wild conspiracies about him that seem so like it.
Gee, I wonder what country is involved in that.
Yeah, I know. I heard about it.
Because
I
World
heard.
War II never ended.
Uh huh. Yes. So, but it was interesting that using the claims are that countries have used him for espionage by getting all these big people to come in and blackmail them, and then the gun running and the drug running and the sex trafficking, and he's using those things to gather intelligence on these people, these wealthy people, to basically blackmail them into supporting their cause. It's crazy, and there was a lot of stuff cited in that clip. uh that just it's so factual
Oh yeah, he's
and
talking
scary.
about how these rich Middle Eastern countries are very much involved in it. And I was also watching a video today that's like 84% of Saudi Arabia approve of Trump.
Yeah. Hmm.
Now, I'm not, well, I'm just against the state altogether. I'm not going to mince words. But, like, uh, you know, it's just very funny uh, that we haven't stopped giving money to a certain country. And there's a lot of Middle Eastern countries involved in this, and it's not just it's just bigger. It's like it's the secret that everybody knows,
Yeah.
but we're never going to get any arrest.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So you
No.
got that. Then you got P Diddy. Then you got Weinstein. Then you got all these guys getting arrested that are kind of the ringleaders of it all, but none of the actual clientele are getting arrested.
Yeah.
And I do not believe any of these people are actually sitting in prison.
Yeah, and not we'll get off the conspiracy theories here in a minute.
Never. I think we
Yeah.
need to keep going.
We got plenty of pop culture to talk about still. Um, but no, I think the whole thing, that Doge recently just found that we were making payments to the Taliban.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
we're still making payments to the Taliban. They just stopped making payments to these people that we fought for 20 years on their own soil. We were
yeah,
funding them to fight us. Like, what the fuck, man?
yeah. Um, it's pretty nuts uh, how our money is extorted and given to our enemies. And it's kind of funny how we were paying the Taliban, plus we're paying all these countries to fight with us. We were paying Poland. We
Hmm.
were paying Ukraine. They're saying, oh, Ukraine came and fought with you. No, we were paying Ukraine to fight with us. Ukraine's government was making money off of us for them to use, again, their people as cannon fodder.
Yeah. It's just wild. I can't wait to see more of that coming out. It's blowing my
Well,
mind.
I don't think it's going to completely come out.
No, it won't.
Uh,
It never could. I think it's too big.
yeah.
I don't think that there's enough time to figure out all the corruption.
But it just makes you wonder how much of the world's actually a psychopath.
Yeah. Uh huh.
And what it takes to get to that level, to get that powerful. Like, so a psychopath is willing to do whatever it takes to get to that level
Yeah.
and make those friends, but it's like not really friends, but it's like they make these connections, but there's no real serious connections. it makes you question reality.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's move on from the conspiracy theories for now. Steph
I'm
wanted to
going to
talk
connect
about
the
the
next thing to a conspiracy theory.
just oh yeah, well of course you are because we're going to talk about the Oscars.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
definitely.
Don't just hold off for a little while. Give this some room to breathe. Let it breathe a little bit.
Um, so I have been here the whole time, everybody. I just watch and listen and lurk.
She learns. She
I
learns.
do, I do. Well, sometimes. So I did watch a movie last night called Companion. Sophie Thatcher was in it. I think that's her name. Uh, and it was interesting, and I can't remember why whatever you guys were whatever you said triggered me because honestly, you guys talked about a lot of stuff.
We do that.
Um, yeah, I just kind
It's
of spaced out.
part of the show.
Just go off on tangents. Anyway, it was interesting because it's like a couple that's going to this rich guy's house for the weekend to go see their friends. Well, it turns out, and this isn't a spoiler because you'll figure it out, that she's a robot. And it's their control. Oh, it's the mind control. They're like you buy this robot and it's not just a sex robot, but it's got the emotions and everything, and like you control everything and something changes, and I'm not going to give that away, but because I think you guys should watch it. It was
What
actually very good.
what show is this?
It's a movie called Companion.
Oh, I think I have that listed that I on my list to watch.
It was very good. I was better than I thought it was going to be. I actually was very interested in it the whole time. And then there's a bunch of twists and turns and everything, but it's that mind control kind of that triggered it where I was like, "Oh yeah, I just watched this movie." And it's not mind control because she's a robot, but I don't want to say too much until you guys watch it, but I just wanted to tell anybody who listens that you should definitely check it out. It was well worth the watch.
So it's interesting. So two movies about like living robots basically have come out pretty close together. Because you had that one Companion, which I want to watch and looks amazing, and then you have Subservience with Megan Fox, which I haven't seen that one yet either.
It's
It
all
looked
right.
interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eh.
It was like
Look
watching Megan. It was
is it
Megan with Megan Fox.
Megan with Megan Fox and Megan? Yeah, sure. Either way,
Megan, the
but
doll, that the killer doll.
yes, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
I've seen it. There's a sequel coming out, and SNL parodied the commercial really well, and it was really funny.
They parodied
Uh,
it.
they parodied
They
parodied
parroted.
it. They parodied it.
They
Um,
parroted it.
so there's that one. There was one other movie that just came out, but it wasn't like about a robot. It was about like an AI inside a house or something like that, and very similar. So I think it's kind of cool that we're taking like the new technologies that everybody's excited about, and making them horror movies. I love it. It's
Yeah,
exciting.
Yeah, but they've been doing that
They,
type of robot household robot movies for years.
but they
yeah, they had
haven't
one on
really.
Disney.
What?
Smart House on Disney Channel.
I'm too cool for that, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, you were young when it came out, so you probably watched it.
I never seen that.
I bet you
Smart
You
House.
ever see Ex
did.
Monica?
What?
Machina?
There's what was that show? It was an old show. I want to say it was 90s with the robot the little robot girl living with the
Oh,
family. What was
yeah,
that
Small
called?
Wonder?
yeah,
What was it?
That was the 80s. That was like 85.
Was it 80s?
Small
yeah.
Wonder, yeah. Where she's like, yeah, that was some crazy stuff. Like, there's this, they had some heavy episodes. They had this heavy episode of like this girl that, they were friends with, but then they found her on a milk carton. And so she's been living with this family, but she's been missing for years.
Hmm.
And then
Wow.
they
Vicky.
had one episode, it's kind of funny.
What'd
Was
you
this
say,
dude
Steph?
trying to like sell her drugs?
Her name was Vicky.
Yeah.
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 Dude
It
trying to
stood for
sell her drugs.
something.
But like the weird thing about that show is the mother acted very motherly to her, but then all of a sudden they're like, "Well, can't you just reboot her?" Like
Yeah.
they treated her like family, but then all of a sudden they were ready to like just erase her memory.
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think, and that's kind of in Companion they touch on that, but like more present day, obviously.
Do
No,
you
Small Wonder was a fever dream.
do you
But
remember? Did
anyways,
you?
you never seen
Yeah.
Machina
No, I haven't seen
No.
that one.
2014? Oh, you got to watch that. That was pretty good.
Hmm. Check that out. Another one, Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams. Did you guys
Mm-mm.
see that one?
Mm-mm.
God, that was a long time ago. I don't remember when that came out. But like it starts off with like he's a robot built by Sam Neill, um, whoever his character's name is. But like he builds him and everything, and then through time he wants to become more human, so he starts to look more and more like Robin Williams, and then he can feel, and he gets a little bit more free will, and eventually he starts aging and marries Sam Neill's daughter. Like the movie was pretty good. I liked it. You know, it's Robin Williams at his Robin Williams best. And then the other movie was with Haley Joel Osment, AI. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
Oh, but I
Uh,
was trying to talk about Ex Machina.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were. I thought you were just saying like, did you see that one?
No,
Oh, you should
go
watch
ahead.
it. I thought you were saying, hey, watch it.
Yeah, well, I was trying. I was gonna say it. Then you're like,
What? I'm
no, but
sorry.
let's talk about Robin Williams.
There was
Robot.
a long enough pause that I moved on. I don't know. I'm
No,
sorry.
there
Go ahead.
wasn't.
Tell.
You just
Fucking.
like, no, I
Just.
haven't seen it, but Robin Williams.
Nah. There was a long.
There was no pause.
There
Like
was a long
you're gonna
pause.
go back and look at this, and you're be like, yeah, I haven't seen it. Yeah, Robin Williams.
I'm gonna.
Like
I'm gonna edit it so that there's like
me
a very long
pausing
pause.
the answer is not a pause for you to
I'm the
change the
editor.
subject.
I am the editor of this thing, and I will make sure that there's a long pause.
Just out of spite.
Tell me about Ex Machina. Tell me about the story. What happens in this wild robot movie?
It's pretty good. You should watch it.
Well played, sir.
Cool story.
Oh my god. That was good. All right. Let's move on.
We're done with robots. Okay.
Yeah, but apparently, Conan O'Brien kept it safe during the Oscars.
He did.
He did.
How'd that go?
Yeah, I actually thought he did a very good job hosting. I think that they definitely kept him on a tight leash on what he could and could not say, and he kind of alluded to that. The Oscars, I haven't watched the Oscars in years. This is the first time I've actually watched it, and you know, I like to watch it for the fashion, or lack thereof, depending on which way you look at it. But I think some of the highlights were Adam Sandler coming out
Yeah.
and just basically giving a big fuck you to everybody.
Yeah. He's just sitting there in a bright blue hoodie.
And gym shorts and being like, this is how I dress.
Yeah. He's like, I don't give a shit.
He's like, I'm gonna go be playing basketball if you want to come and hang out. So yeah, I did really like that. I hadn't seen a lot of the movies that were nominated for a lot of these categories. And I probably won't watch a lot of them because they just didn't sound interesting to me. I know Adam, we had kind of said that we thought Wicked was gonna sweep
Yeah.
a lot of it.
I thought Wicked was gonna take home like just about everything, but like it really didn't win that many categories.
No.
The what's her name who played the Wicked Witch? Cynthia. Can't remember. Anyways, she didn't. I don't think she won Best Actress. Correct?
No, the girl from Anora did.
Okay, so if she had,
or was it?
I think. I don't know. I think you're right. I think Anora.
Well,
but they were saying that if she had
theory about Honora getting a sweep.
Is there?
Wait, actually, Steve read that there's a lawsuit or something coming out because a film student had sent it to the director back in 2014 or 2016 to have them, give criticism and edits, and then this director took it and made it into his own story and now just won all these awards.
Hmm.
Yeah, and they're saying it was fixed to snub Amelia Perez.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Huh. Well, and Zoe Saldana won Best Supporting Actress for Amelia Perez. Um, and Cynthia Erivo, I looked it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, Cynthia Erivo. So if she had won Best Actress, she would have EGOT. She would have gotten her EGOT, and I know people were really excited to see her win that. So,
What's an
um,
EGOT?
Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony.
Oh, okay.
So she almost had it, but unfortunately she didn't. She didn't take it home with that. I didn't see Wicked, and it's for no other reason than it just not something that really holds my interest. I'm sure that
I
if I watched it, I would probably like it, but
I
so
love
I
Wizard of Oz. I want to watch it.
yeah.
I saw the
I've seen
first
the
time I
I've
saw
seen the
it.
Broadway show.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen it on Broadway. I wasn't super interested in it, and everybody was talking about it. But the
I
first time
like
I
the
watched,
Broadway show.
yeah, I heard it was good. The first time I saw it, though, I was kind of like, I'm not really into it. But I will say the ending when they did Defying Gravity kind of hooked me in, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this again. And the second time I watched it, I picked up on other things, and I
Hmm.
started to get really into it. And then when Ariana Grande and Cynthia, how do you
Erivo.
say Arrivo, thank you, did their opening song at the Oscars. I thought it was fantastic. I thought
I
they did
missed
it.
that. I didn't see it.
Oh, it was like it gave me chills. It was good. It was
Hmm.
really good. Those girls have some amazing voices.
So I like the Wizard of Oz too, and I watched the Cinema Sins video on Return to Oz, which I like. When I watched the video and they were like making fun of it, I was like, I vaguely feel like I've seen this before, but
Yeah,
that is a
it's
fever
freaking
dream of a
awful.
movie.
Oh yeah, it's a nightmare fantasy film.
Yeah,
It
it's
basically
it's
came
something
out,
else,
in the '80s when all those dark fantasies. So it was basically
right?
Wizard of Oz dark fantasy.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty messed up. But like it was funny like watching them talk about the movie.
I think watching that, Lana didn't mind it. I think watching it now, I don't mind it. I think when I was a kid, yeah, it was really creepy because it's pretty much Dorothy getting a lobotomy or something.
Yeah, I didn't think I had seen it, but then as I was watching it, I was like, I remember these scenes, and
Hmm.
I'm like, I must have seen this when I was like young.
Yeah, I think they had it on TV all the time and stuff.
Yeah,
That was, back in the day when you watched TV and they put movies on TV.
yeah. Well, and so Adrian Brody, like, I know people were pretty annoyed by him because he was super arrogant about his win because this is the second best actor that he's won because he won one for The Pianist, and then and then he won one for this one, which was God, what the hell was the name of it? I want to say Brutal, but that's not right. The Brutalist.
Yeah, the Brutalist.
Yeah, so he won one for that, but he was up there and he was giving his speech, and they started playing the music, and he's like, "No, shut the music off. I'm wrapping up. I promise you." No, shut it off. Shut. And I was like, "Dude, fuck this guy."
Yeah, I guess he said something like, I've been here before.
Yeah, he said some arrogant shit, and I was just like, "Way to be humble, douchebag." But I'm still irritated by him when he was in the Predator movie, Predators.
I never saw that.
It was okay.
Well,
Mm.
his Hungarian accent was AI generated.
Was it really?
Hmm.
Jeez. Well, I don't know. He was kind of a blowhard with that. I didn't. It's just kind of annoying.
Yeah, again, there was nothing that really stood out to me or that I was impressed with. Oh, I know what we were talking about.
Sure.
The in memoriam.
Oh yes, the in memoriam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I know they missed a lot of people, and everyone's saying there's a whole list that you can go and see in memoriam, but they did miss a lot of people on there. But then they put Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
in there, even though he had just passed a couple weeks or a couple days prior. So you're in 2025. This is supposed to be the year of 2024, which is a slight to Michelle Trachtenberg. Now, granted, I know she's not a big player in the
Yeah.
movie scenes, but I mean, come on. That just
But
happened too.
but it wasn't just her. They also missed Tony Todd, who's like a
Yes.
horror icon. He played
Yes.
Candyman in all the Candyman movies. Like so, like that kind of icon being missed is, is even
That's
more.
a bigger slight than anything.
If they, if honestly, if they have it in the next ones, the 2025s, great. But it confused a lot of people of why you're putting Gene Hackman in, but you skipped over these other people who just died too. And
Yeah.
Tony Todd was 2024 though, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but like Gene Hackman probably was of a different quality to them of actor than Trachtenberg.
Right.
For when you're
And you're
looking at Euro Trip and
Yeah.
uh, you know
and
Right.
I understand that, but
Harriet the
to
Spy. I think that's crap because when you're talking about millennials,
We
they're
grew up with Michelle
probably
Trachtenberg. We know
yeah.
who she is.
but to Adam's point, not having Tony Todd, who is a huge icon in the horror film industry and created this character that everybody knows and played it so well, and to not have him in there,
Yeah.
that's pretty bad. Like people are saying Shannon Doherty because she passed. Yes, but again, not really big in the movie scene. What she was in, I don't even know what movie she was in.
Wes
Um,
Craven's New Nightmare, wasn't she?
If you ask me, I'm just gonna name Marissa Tomei movies. So
Yeah. Um, but yeah, if you look at Tony
first thing
Todd,
came to mind was my cousin Vinny.
yeah,
not
when
Shannon
you
Doherty.
I know that's
yeah
what I say. I'm just gonna name Marissa Tomei movies.
when you look at Tony Todd's like IMDb though, like he was. So I didn't know this. It's been a long time since I've seen this fantastic movie though, The Man from Earth. Me and Rick watched that one together. You remember that one?
No.
So that's the one where the guy it's a basically a bottle episode. It's the guy telling the story of how he's lived since the dawn of time, or since the dawn of Earth, um, and he's just lived this whole life, and he's telling these people this story inside this cabin, and it's a really fantastic movie. I think you ordered that back when you ordered Netflix through the mail.
Yeah, this is
we
old.
and we were
I
living
don't
together.
remember
You had
this at
gotten there.
all.
Yeah, it was a great movie. Great movie. If you watched it, you'd probably remember. I'm trying to think about who
Well,
the.
I'm looking at the pictures. I'm getting hints.
Yeah, it was just a guy telling a story in a cabin to a bunch of people. Like it didn't ever leave the cabin. It's just him telling a story. It was like an audio book, basically. Like, and it was so well done, and it was just telling the story of like how this guy has lived since he was a caveman, and like he was Jesus, and he was all these things. Like it's really incredible. But anyways, Tony Todd was in that movie, and I don't remember him being in there. But he was also in The Crow. He was in The Rock. Like he was not even just the horror films. He was big in films in general.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah.
was all over the place. He was just the guy you know from that movie.
Yeah, yeah. You
Like,
recognize his face.
yeah, you know him. He's been like everything, and you've seen him. You see his face, you're like, I know that guy from somewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think
Amazing.
that I think a lot of people took issue more with him not being in there
Hmm.
than a lot of the others, rightfully so. Um, but I thought I was waiting for a couple of these faces to pop up, and I was like, oh shit, this is gonna get bad.
Yeah. Michelle Trachtenberg just makes me want to watch Euro Trip again. I love that movie.
Scotty doesn't know that Fiona.
He do it
That
in my
song,
van every Sunday.
so
She
funny
tells him
side,
she's in church, but she's on her knees. That's such
so
a funny
funny
song.
story about that song. It came out when I was in college, and I was dating a guy named Scotty. Well, let's just say I was not the best person at the time. And all of his fraternity brothers knew. And so he had gone home for the summer, found out, came back. We were at a tailgate, the fraternity was like up tailgating on their trucks, and I walk by and they all just start screaming, and Scotty's down there and they all just start screaming that song at me as I walk by, and I was like, this is how I'm gonna be known right now.
But it just
So
upset me that Kristen Krug did that to Scotty.
Yeah. Yeah. That's such a good movie. That was one of the funniest movies that came out like of our generation. And it didn't get the credit it deserved. Like there were so many
mm-mm,
laugh out loud moments in there.
mm-hmm.
Like
Well, I
and
mean,
none of
it
them were
was,
huge actors.
uh, I mean, it was just like your American Pie, you know.
Yes.
It was like, which American Pie really started off the kind of late '90s, 2000s. Really, I mean, I know they had high school, college sex romps like in the '80s, but '90s kind of died down, and that
Yeah.
kind of pushed up. And it's just like the Marvel universe now. It's like, oh, here's another one, you know.
Yeah.
But Euro Trip was really a standout, though.
It was. It was off the wall hilarious. Like it
Mhm.
was, Vinny Jones was in it being his fucking wacky self. Um, you had who was Matt Damon who was
Yep.
who was singing the song. Really, it was dubbed over from the band, but I mean, he was doing his cameo thing in there.
And Fred Armisen.
Yeah, Oh my god, the part with Fred Armisen is one of the funniest
Scusi.
parts. Like, Viscusi, Viscusi.
I think I need to rewatch this because I do not remember.
Oh god, so funny.
Man, I can't believe okay, when did Fred Armisen get on Saturday Night Live? Because
so there's one scene in the movie that every time I watch it, I will just laugh hysterically at. And it's the part where they're in Mika's apartment talking to her dad, and her little brother is like over in the corner and he's like coloring
Yeah.
something. They're looking
yeah.
and he draws a little Hitler stash on his face. And then, and
Oh, wait, I better watch out.
the-
Someone's gonna Photoshop me.
And then one of the friends like looking at him, and then the kid's like smiling, and then he gets up and he starts goose stepping around the room, and it was so funny because it was just
Everyone's like, what?
you're not even paying attention to what's happening with the actual storyline just because this one thing is happening.
And I'm pretty sure that was when we were going to Germany.
Was it?
Yeah.
Not me.
No, came home from Germany. Maybe it was after Germany.
I think it came out in like 2005. I want to say
Yeah, it was after.
No,
It was.
it had
two,
to.
no, I think it was like 2004.
It might have been. It is 2004. You're right.
Yeah, it's the same time. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
after Germany.
Yeah, but oh my god, that movie just has so many laugh out loud moments. And then the one guy, one Michelle Trachtenberg's brother in there, went on to be one of the ghost facers from
Oh,
Supernatural.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Travis Wester.
Yeah, he was one of one of the main ones.
Oh, that's so funny. Now I've got
Yeah.
to rewatch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do tonight.
God, I gotta
a
watch
good
that
one.
movie again now. That's such a good movie.
And I kind of consider Sex Drive like Baby Euro Trip.
Yeah, Sex Drive was the same concept. Very like just silly off the wall humor.
Rumspringer.
Rumspringer.
Seth Green.
Yeah.
Seth Green's like.
Yeah.
he's
Computers.
He's talking about his he's like a mechanic.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
Overly sarcastic.
Yeah. He's like, computers? Oh yeah, there are these things that we have. Dude, I'm fucking with you. I know what a computer is.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so good. Such a
That
good movie.
and the Trevor
Oh, the Trevor Moore movie, Miss March.
what
Miss
was it?
March. Miss
Miss
March. That movie is so
Nobody-
funny.
and he's like, everybody hates firemen. Everybody knows that.
Yeah. Everybody hates firemen. What? No, they
He's
don't.
going, everybody knows that. Like, it's a well-known thing.
I haven't seen that movie since Afghanistan, man. That was such a funny one.
That was a good one.
I don't think I saw that one.
It don't think it got like a very popular release, but it was pretty funny. And
Because we watched Kids You Knew, you
yeah,
know. They had Craig
Oh.
Robinson in it too.
yeah, Craig Robinson was in it. Oh, so Zach Kreger, who was the guy who was chasing the girl in the
Yeah.
movie, so he's the guy w's doing the new Resident Evil movie.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, so
Well,
he's
he was
the
in the original Whitest Kids You Know.
yeah, and he's writing and directing, I think, for the new Resident Evil movie, which has been rebooted to death, and everybody's failed to actually capture it. But I'm hoping that because he's kind of an uber nerd too, so I'm hoping that he's going to actually do a good job. And the movie
I'm
you
so
told me,
sick of I'm so turned off by Resident Evil.
but the movie you told me about Barbarian, right? So he did that movie, and you spoke
Yeah,
very
and that was
highly of
kind
it.
of an interesting concept.
Yeah,
Did you
I
ever
think
watch
that
that?
I haven't watched it yet, and that one's on my list. But I do want to see that.
Well, it's too late for us to talk about it now. It's gonna be like out for 10 years.
Yeah, well, I'm behind
Did
in
you
a
know
lot of stuff right
Anthony
now.
Jeselnik
Jesselnick,
directed that movie,
which one?
Miss March?
Did he really?
Yeah,
Hold on, I gotta look this up. That's wild. Director Zach. He directed it.
according to this casting, it says he's the director.
So I see directed by Zach Kreger and Trevor Moore.
According to Google, he's a director.
Oh,
Mm.
I don't know. Well, anyways, but yeah, Miss March was a funny movie. If you ever get the chance to watch Miss March, watch it. It's so goddamn funny. Trevor Moore is a comedic genius, and rest in peace.
Yeah,
What
they
is that
got him.
movie about?
So, so Zach Kreger's character, like, so it's prom night, and they're about to graduate high school. It's prom night. He ends up falling down a flight of stairs, trying to get something so he could have sex with his girlfriend. So he falls down a flight of stairs and goes into a coma. And he wakes up several years later, and he wakes up to find out that his girlfriend had gone on to become a playmate. So
Mm.
He's a
he's
director. He plays a director in the movie.
okay.
Well, why didn't they just okay? Why can't they just give him a name?
Yeah.
It just says director.
So, anyways, he finds out his girlfriend's a playmate. So him and Trevor Moore decide to go to the Playboy Mansion, and so that he can go talk to her and try to win her back and everything. And it's a funny concept of a movie, really.
I feel like I did see this.
Craig Robinson's hilarious in that movie. By the
He
way,
is.
I don't know why he's not in more. I guess he did Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in there. Cedric Yarborough was in there. Who else? Hugh Hefner's in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. It's an overall fun movie,
Hmm.
And again, Trevor Moore and Zach Kreger, they're just like really funny guys. They were the best parts of Whitest Kids You Know, and those videos will live on forever.
Yeah. Mm.
we're pretty much out of time, but I do want to touch on Daredevil. I know
Yes.
Adam watched the first episode. I watched the first 2 episodes. It's been about 7 years since it came out. They are hinting at the future of the Punisher, the Defenders, which I'm going to meet Mike Coulter next week. Luke Cage, baby. And I gotta say, I actually like it so far. Um, I'm Kingpin. What do you know about Kingpin right now?
I know that, so I don't really know that much. I just know that he has both his eyes after he got shot in the eye by Echo at the end of Hawkeye.
Yeah, I gotta watch Echo just to see what happened with that.
I don't know what happened because he didn't have an eye. He got shot in the eye.
Well, I think it was a cliffhanger. I don't think it really showed anything. I know in the comics he got shot in the face.
I think in the Echo show he had a an eye patch. I don't know.
I don't remember.
know.
That's been a couple of years. That was
Yeah.
a couple Christmases a year ago.
Yeah. I like
But
Daredevil too. I thought it was good.
I am interested because they kind of got it set up for Echo. Now you got me thinking of Echo, and nobody even knows who that is.
No,
Um,
she was made up.
she's a deaf character. So Kingpin is kind of set up, I think, to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to
Hmm.
show up in like Spider-Man,
Yeah.
because he's pretty important in New York now.
Yes. Um, I thought the first episode was really good, and we were talking about this via text, but I was saying that I just thought the initial fight scene between him and Bullseye was just so dark. It was hard to tell what was going on, and I feel like they missed an opportunity to have something really, really special there. Because the fight scene, was pretty cool. And Bullseye's throwing stuff, and he's getting stabbed in the arms and everything, and he's still fighting. And they're both exhausted by the end because they're just putting everything they have into this battle. But like, it's so dark you can't really see anything. And I know why it's dark. I understand it. They did it to save money on the CGI. They didn't have to do as much with some of the shit. I get that, but like they could, I don't know. I thought it could have just been a little bit better. And it's the same complaint I have with any of the grittier like comic book movies in general, is that sometimes they just go way too dark on things, and like visually they go too dark on things, and you can't see what's really going on. That's my only complaint that I really had.
Well,
Otherwise, I thought it was good.
they've spent 150 million on the show.
Did they really? Jesus.
Yes. I think they could have done the fight scene. I think it's just lazy. And they did it even though, what was that, in the hallway and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Prior seasons,
Yeah.
big fight scene. It kind of makes it more dramatic than what you're actually looking at because
Hmm.
they kind of did a lot of stuff behind like closed doors and stuff like that. And they did that in prior seasons too. Um,
Right.
and you know, I do want to see. I maybe they're just not really putting a lot into the fight coordination for Daredevil, but I think that's where the money shot is. Other than
Yeah.
your mom, I think that's where the money shot is.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Good one. Son
I
of a,
got you
you
good.
son of a
Just
bitch.
joking.
Um, No, I thought the same thing. I thought too when they did the hallway scene back when they had Daredevil on Netflix, because this is a continuation off of that, and maybe it's the director's style or something. I don't know. But when they're doing the hallway and people were like raving about the fight, and I'm like, there wasn't a fight. He just walked into a room. You heard some punch sound effects, and then somebody would come flying out of the room, like there was no fight to it, and I get it. It's letting your imagination do the work. And again, this could just be the director's mo and how they're doing it, but I think that they're missing some opportunity there with letting Daredevil just fight.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, they definitely replaced Foggy and Carol,
Karen, yeah,
Karen. Uh, I don't know if it's because they're doing other things or what.
yeah,
I think there's like mixed opinions on Foggy,
yeah.
but
Well,
at least Karen's still alive.
yeah. Well, there, I
But she's
yeah. Nobody's ever
cancer.
truly dead, right? Nobody's ever truly dead, and especially now
Well,
that
I
there's a
think
multiverse and a
Foggy's
timeline.
dead. Foggy's
Ah,
not someone that's going to
sure.
come back to
This
life.
this Foggy is dead. Now there's a multiverse. So he's just got to go. Daredevil just got to knock on the TVA's door and say, "Hey, listen, I need a new Foggy. Let me pop into this universe, grab one, and I'll be on my way." Like that's all it is now. Like, and I can't since
I
the
don't think it's
opening of.
that simple.
I mean, it sounds pretty simple, but
Hey,
like,
I need a Foggy.
I need a
But
new
I don't
Foggy.
think Daredevil's a very street level character. I don't think he's going to go knocking on the
You gotta.
TVA's door.
Hey, you got any Foggy in there? Let me get
Hey, I'm
Foggy.
just, hey, I'm in Hell's Kitchen. I'm just going to stop over at the TVA.
I but see that's why there's no stakes anymore in Marvel though either, is because now you've got the multiverse. So no death is permanent. They're just going to find a multiversal replacement just like they did in Deadpool for Wolverine. He went next door to the other universe, found a Wolverine and brought him home.
Well, I don't think it's like the character we know is dead.
Yes.
The multiverse character is a different character. That
Sure.
Wolverine is a different Wolverine.
It's a different Wolverine, but at the same time, is it?
and we got to see Cavalry,
We did get to see Cavalry.
and that was awesome.
Uh, but that's it now. It's like the Marvel universe has no stakes because anytime they want to bring a character back, they're just going to go to the multiverse. We're going to see Tony Stark again.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
calling it
know
now.
if
We're going to see Tony
I don't
Stark.
know. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna be like a multiverse version of Tony Stark or and he's Doctor Doom now.
So,
Uh,
yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Doctor Doom. I know that we're going to see Tony Stark again as Iron Man. That's
I
a
feel
fact.
like
That's going to happen.
they're gonna overcomplicate it. It just seems overcomplicated.
Yeah. I
Like
know trying to bring the multiverse into it is like kind of a fun thing, but like it has to be done right too.
they just don't have the geniuses they had in the original
No.
Marvel Cinematic Universe. Uh, who James Gunn's gone.
Hmm.
Joss Whedon's canceled. You know,
The Russo brothers are still doing the new Avengers movies though.
are they? I thought
Yeah,
they were done.
I'm pretty sure that they're doing them. I thought I saw something the other day about it. I think the Russos are doing the new Avengers movies.
I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, I guess they are. They're doing the Avengers Doomsday, set to release May 1st, 2026.
Well, they got to do
Secret Wars, 2027.
yeah. Well, they got to do the Community movie first.
Yeah, but also, well, they're getting. Well, I wonder if they're gonna use the Defenders in the Avengers.
I think they're gonna start pulling in a lot
They
of different things.
they need to put Luke Cage in the Avengers. Luke
Yes,
Cage needs to be in charge of the Avengers eventually.
yes. And I hope that they do more with Mike Coulter. I really like him. He's in that show Evil I've been watching. He's really good. I hope
Yeah,
they bring him
like
back.
he's just he's got a likable look.
He does.
So, but at the same time, he's just this big dude.
Yeah,
So he's the perfect Luke Cage.
he
Like
is.
he just looks like Luke Cage. I really like it.
He knocked it out of the park with it.
Hmm.
Loved it.
And that first season was really good. I hope they do more Luke Cage. I like Luke Cage more than Daredevil.
Yeah.
I really like Punisher, but I thought Luke Cage out of those defense. Well, actually, Jessica Jones is really good too.
Jessica Jones was great.
I think yeah.
I think the only one is Iron Fist that we didn't really care for.
I don't mind Iron Fist. I think they just ruined the character a bit.
They didn't. I didn't think they did a good job with it.
Yeah. But I thought Luke Cage was probably my favorite, but I really like Jessica Jones though.
Jessica Jones was a really great show.
Hmm.
Like going up
Yeah.
against what's his face, the Purple Man,
Yeah, David Tennant, my boy.
David Tennant. But yeah, I hope that I'm gonna keep watching Daredevil. I hope it continues to be good.
Yeah, I hope it picks up. It is building. I thought the first two episodes were good. Definitely building towards something. Hopefully, we see more cameos. Hopefully, the Defenders show up. So,
Yeah.
and I guess they've been hinting at it. Matt Murdock did show up in Spider-Man.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm I don't know because the MCU's been kind of crap the last couple of years, so it's like
Well,
I don't know what to expect.
Did you
And
notice a
it's
lot
like,
of the,
who's gonna be in the new Avengers?
yeah? Well, did
Is
you
it gonna
notice
be
that a lot of
Ironheart?
yeah?
Is it gonna be
We haven't heard
the
about
new
her
Miss
since
Marvel,
I wanted to say Aquaman, not Aquaman, Black Panther 2.
Kamala Khan? I
Yeah.
like Shuri.
Yeah. So I've noticed that a lot of their shows are not getting a season 2. And I don't know if that's by design or if that's by popularity because I would like to see another season of Miss Marvel. I really like that show. I thought it was good. WandaVision, we've got the conclusion of that one. We got that.
Yeah,
I don't
well,
think that
that
needs
was
to
a
happen again.
one-off.
Yeah, that was a one-off for sure. Loki got a couple of seasons. The She-Hulk, I don't
Agatha
care.
all along.
What
Yeah.
about that Agatha one?
That's what I just said.
What'd you say?
I said Agatha all along, and then you said, "What about the Agatha one?"
Sorry, I zoned
Which
out for the past like 15 minutes.
which I still hadn't seen yet.
What?
I haven't seen
It's
it.
decent. It's
Yeah.
decent,
Well, I like Catherine Hahn, so I'm gonna watch it at some
and
point.
it brings about another Marvel character, but I think a lot of people who are anti-woke will not like.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about anything.
Wait,
Yeah.
who are they? What?
The
Wiccan.
anti-woke.
No, what character?
Wiccan.
Wiccan. Yeah.
That's a character?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's the guy, the gay guy.
Son?
It's Wanda's son,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and he wants to find his brother.
He's a popular comic books character.
Did you watch Agatha all along?
Yeah, I just don't know why people would have a problem with it.
Because he's gay.
Oh, because they think everything's woke. Well, everything is woke now. But here's the
Oh.
thing. It's not woke. I don't care if you make a gay character or transgender character, whatever. That could be interesting. It's more, are you sacrificing the story to push a message? And
Mm.
that's where people kind of, they see that, and then they lose sight of what they're watching, because anything where someone's gay now, because it used to be like they'd have like a gay character here and there and people wouldn't care. But that's what ruined X-Men 97, because people watched like 2 episodes of X-Men 97 and said it was woke. I thought X-Men 97 was amazing.
It was very good. I loved it.
Yeah, I didn't see anything really. I mean, was there? I don't think I've seen anything woke in it, and I like that they had more Nightcrawler in it, who's like my favorite superhero of all time.
People overuse the word woke.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're
There's times where
appealing to, they're trying to appeal to multiple audiences, and that's all it is. And who cares? Like, I didn't think anything about Agatha. I also don't know anything about the comics, so I don't know what the characters are like in the comics. So for me coming into this new, being like, okay, I
wouldn't
really
know
like
if
this.
Wiccan was gay. I'm
Huh?
not gonna lie.
You what?
So I wouldn't know if Wiccan was gay.
Oh, yeah, I don't think it really matters. I don't think they really made it matter in this one either. It's
Well,
just
I
like,
think it all started when they did like, I don't know if it was like an Elseworlds or something like that, where they made Iceman gay,
They
Mhm.
did, yeah.
and
And Jean Grey fucking roasted him.
and people freaked out about it because Iceman was one of the original X-Men.
okay.
And then like in 2017 or something like that, or 20, I think I was still living in Aurora, probably like 2015, 2016, he was like gay all of a sudden. You know?
It was longer than that. I want to say it was like the 2010s. Or not
It is
2010s,
the
the 2000s.
No, I don't think it was that early.
No? Oh.
No, I was working at the hospital in Naperville then. It was probably 2014, between 2014 and 2015.
Hmm.
Might have been 2013.
But either way, like as somebody who doesn't know, like what I'm saying is I don't know the backstory, so that doesn't affect me. Because I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. This is what the character is. This is what they're, they're gay, they're straight, they're transgender, whatever. That doesn't affect me. It's the storyline that I follow. But I can understand where other people who have been following these comics forever could be annoyed because that's not the character that they grew up with, you
Yeah.
know?
Well, here's the thing. They had a comic where the Punisher was having these dreams about slavery and stuff, and then he was expressing his white guilt.
Yeah.
Like that's woke, because you are sacrificing a comic book. We don't give a shit. I don't care about your white guilt. I just want to watch Punisher blow a bunch of people's heads off. I
Sure.
don't care if he has white guilt,
Right.
And it's like, really what you're doing, it seems to me, is you're trying to spread a message to me that I need to be guilty.
Yeah.
Right. Which that's, that shouldn't be happening. Keep the characters with their storylines. Don't try to also incorporate some hidden message in there, or not so hidden, I guess. But
Well, it's just out of left field,
yeah,
Yeah.
you know. But if you have like but the thing is, like every time they have like a gay character, a transgender character show up, they're like, "Oh, you're pushing a message." But I think the biggest problem is when they change established characters that people know.
right.
Mhm.
That's the biggest thing, you know.
Or the focus is on the fact that they're gay.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
that's their whole
Supergirl.
personality.
Like Supergirl ran entire storylines based around her sister.
They did that with that and the Runaways.
I never finished the Runaways.
It was literally every time we went to the lesbian couple, they're just making out the whole time. And it was like 10-minute scenes of them making out and getting all lovey dovey. And it's hard to watch. It's like, we get it, they like each other. But like, when you see a straight couple, you don't see them just making out every single all the time. You see them making out a little bit, but they're not like, that's not all they're doing. That's not
Yeah.
the only thing they do. It's like, look how gay they are. You gotta like them. Look how gay they are. Look at them. You know, and it's like, okay, we get it. You're brave.
Well, see, the show that handled it real well was Chucky. They had gay characters, but they were like the main characters, and you didn't even really care.
That's how I feel
Shouldn't
about
say you didn't
Agatha,
care, but
though.
like
Like, I don't.
it didn't distract from the story.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing that I took from Agatha, and I'm just going with that because that's the one that I know out of what you guys are talking about.
Well, I
There
think
was,
another thing is like, like no one asked for an Agatha, just like no one asked for an Echo. But
Here
I
we are.
actually like Catherine Hahn, so
I like that show a lot. Granted, I probably shouldn't have done it the way I did because I watched that and then WandaVision. I didn't realize that they were connected.
yeah, you watched it backwards.
Yeah,
But it's
so
kind
I'm
of like
sitting.
going to a flashback.
Yeah, like I'm telling Steve, I'm like, oh yeah, I did this. Like, did you watch WandaVision? I was like, no, nah, I'm not really interested. He's like, well, you really should watch the first one to understand what's going on in the second one. And I was
That's
like,
true.
oh, yeah. So, he is also a nerd like you guys, so I am schooled daily on this stuff. But yeah, I thought, I'm not big into the comics or any of that. I couldn't tell you who half these people are, but I was very into that show. Probably because there's a lot of witches, and I really like witches.
Sure.
Yeah, but she killed all the witches.
Yeah, but she's funny, so it's fine.
But she made me laugh. Well, that's what I think about Trump.
Oh Lord, we're about to get canceled. Um, but yeah, I think
Somebody's got to listen first.
We had 2 viewers.
Yeah.
Seriously, we had 2 views.
One of
was
them, I
it?
think, was me.
Oh, maybe both of them were.
Could have been. Could have been.
One day, guys, we'll get 5 listeners. It's
Maybe
fine.
somebody was curious. I figured someone would see my halt face.
All right, we ready to wrap this up?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening, and we hope to see you next time. Make sure to check out some of our previous episodes, too. Get your fill of spit take. Until next time.
Get that fill.
Level up, guys.
Oh, no, these weren't all me.